My name is Sarah, and this channel is about my experience living with autoimmune disease, one breath at a time. I've spent over 20 years going to doctors, explaining my symptoms, trying to get an answer as to why I was going through so much pain, swelling, coldness of extremities. It was always something, digestive issues, allergic reactions. It was multiple things, but yes, over 20 years going from specialist to specialist until about 3 years ago, I found out that I had UCTD. UCTD stands for Undifferentiated Connective Tissue Disease. So what is UCTD? Basically, it is a autoimmune condition that attacks your body immune system on a cellular level. So after 20 something years, when I finally got a name for some of my issues, I was hopeful. It was a good day to finally, after 20 something years, to finally get a name. The downside is that it's kind of a grayish type of disease. So UCTD consists of multiple diseases, and that is lupus, rheumatoid, Sjogren's, scleroderma. Yeah, those are the main ones. And you can get symptoms from any of those. One day you could feel one way, and the next day, like for me, I can have the lupus butterfly will pop up, my skin will be really triggered, I'll be inflamed. And the next day I could have red eyes, puffy eyes, itchy eyes, foggy sight, and that's from the Sjogren's. And then with scleroderma, I really feel like when my skin is extremely triggered, like it feels like I'm burning. And I've had an incident where I felt like my skin was on fire. That was a really painful day, and I don't know exactly what triggered it. That's another thing. They can't tell you exactly what triggers anything. You know, they of course stress, bad diet, the lack of movement, not doing anything. It's a variety of things. Definitely diet is a big one in the stress, but really they really don't have answers as to the what's and whys, and there's nothing, you can't get rid of it. Also with it, undifferentiated part of this is that, like my doctor told me, I'm in the hallway. I'm in the hallway, and another one told me it's like give lupus the color purple, and scleroderma the color pink. You take a little you take a little bit of each color from those, and that's basically what UCTD is. It's the in between. I'm not in the room for lupus. I'm not in the room for scleroderma. I'm in the hallway. And UCTD can eventually progress to a dominant disease, one of them, or it can kind of be neutral for all of them. I want to say one of the specialists said up to 10 years, but how would that apply to me? Because I've been dealing with, you know what I mean, issues for a very long time, and I'm still in the hallway. So there's that. My case is very complex, and it's been a very stressful one. A stressful one that has garnished me no answers for a lot of things, and I'm still looking for answers. I'm still researching. I still have doctors. I've had multiple doctors, but I have different doctors now, a team of doctors that I go to, but it's definitely an exhausting journey, which brings me to why I started this channel. I want to be a support system, someone you could come to for, you know, tips or information, links, new holistic methods, also regular Western medicine, but I'm looking at all different things because for me, a lot of the medicines that we're on for autoimmune disorders, you know, they're strong. And also, if you're going to be on them for the rest of your life, for me, there's just drugs I don't want to be on for the rest of my life. I don't want to weaken my organs. They're already weakened. So that brings me back to UCTD and what it does to you on a cellular level. On a cellular level, it affects all the organs. When I said earlier, my eyes can be foggy, itchy, and pain, I'm on multiple medications for my eyes, but then multiple medications for my skin. It affects your heart, your lungs. It can affect your kidneys, your liver. Like, it's a cellular level type thing. It's gonna affect all the organs. So there's that, and then not knowing when you're gonna get a flare up or when you're gonna get triggered. For me, I've taken away so many different foods. I'm very cognizant of what I'm surrounded by, what I'm breathing, dander, you know, dust, all these different things. I try to stay on top of all these things so I'm not always feeling so foggy and sick and in pain and all these different things. And it's very hard. You still don't know, and they can't tell you either. They can't really give you, none of the doctors I've talked to can give me an answer to help me about triggers. Especially for me with diet, that is a huge one. Because I know what I'm allergic to, but you can have intolerances, and then next thing you know, boom, I can wake up and I'm in full on 10 pain level. Right now I'm at a, if you can see, let's see. I'm at a 5. My baseline for pain is a 5. I function on a 5. Most of the time I'm a 5 and up. It's gonna be 5 and up. If I do have like a great day, it's not a painless day. There's something going on. Instead of having to explain my days when I come on here, this will help give you kind of some insight into how I'm feeling. And that's another reason for going through all this. When you have diseases that are not on, you know, you can't tell that you have it. You know, it's very hard for sometimes people to grasp what you're dealing with, what you're going through. And so that's another thing. I want to be able to have these conversations because it can lead to a lot of mental health issues, a lot of different things. We just don't know what to do when you don't know what to go, who you don't know what to say to your doctors when you do go to these appointments, what it's like to be your best advocate because no one else can speak for you, especially if you don't have a friend system or family system, people that are really invested in what's going on with you. So if you do go to doctors, if you can't think of a question, they might can't think of something too, or like writing down your questions and interviewing I'm a big person now at this point, 20-some plus years of interviewing and asking doctors, nurse practitioners, whoever I'm dealing with, what they've done, how I need to feel their energy, I need to feel the vibe. Are you going to be serious with my case? Or are you going to just push me to the side? I've had doctors I've spent way too many years with that really push me to the side. Or, oh, your labs look like this. I'm in pain. I'm hurting. My whole body is red. You can see that inflammation. What can you do to help me? You know, you full on are in pain. You're hobbling in and nothing. Who cares what that says? I am in pain. I am suffering. And that's the thing, when you're suffering in silence, just because you cannot see it, and just because these labs are saying one thing, let's work this out and figure out what it is. And so when it comes to that, that will definitely be a video on its own. But I say all that to say this: with UCTD, and excuse me, I will be coughing most likely in all my videos because I have a chronic cough and I have interstitial lung disease, which is intertwined with my UCTD. And so The scarring in my lungs is from the UCTD. And then the interstitial lung disease in itself is a lot underneath that umbrella. And that consists of a lot of things. But I'm going to skip to now discussing medicine. What am I taking as far as medication? I'm on a lot of medications, but the main thing for the UCTD is infusions. I'm on the rituximab infusions every 6 months, but that's going to change because my inflammation markers, they rise back up around the 4th month. And that's a drug that, an infusion, it's a biologic, and it's attacking the B9, your B9 cells. And so it helps to slow down the progression of inflammation. And then there's another medication. I'm currently not on it. It's OFEV, but there's a similar medicine like that I believe I might get on next month. My pulmonologist told me about this a couple weeks ago. And that one, so OFEV helps with the progression of inflammation as well. It's a really important one. Unfortunately, due to my digestive issues, it would be too harsh. It causes, you're gonna have issues with that particular drug, and you either can tolerate it or you can't, and I can't. So there's another drug that is similar to that my doctor was telling me that I might have a little bit of issues, but hopefully I would be able to tolerate it. And that's a whole nother video. Drug intolerances. Oh, that's the story of my life. Okay, with UCTD, well, let's say with ILD too, both of them, because they're intertwined. I've been on some of them, the drugs that they start you on that are pretty common and important, and like the mycophenolate, the zithropine. There's another one, and it causes me severe stomach problems. It inflames my whole like respiratory system, and then also too it would trigger skin rashes. So it was just a mess. But I was on those, and then I couldn't tolerate it. So for right now, what's getting me through until I possibly get on the other drug is the rituximab infusions, and then I'm on multiple inhalers to help, with steroids to help to kind of calm my lungs, and then also help with the inflammation as well, because I have esophagus and larynx, a whole bunch of things going on with that, so that also helps with those things too. So I'll say this and I'll finish it up. Whenever you feel like you're going to be triggered, or you don't know, the things you're going to expect with UCTD is inflammation. You're going to get joint muscle pain, chronic pain, constant aching, extreme fatigue. Extreme fatigue is a huge one. Being tired all the time, but you got to do what you got to do. Especially if you've been dealing with issues for a long time, you most likely know how to function with just feeling depleted. And you definitely need to take care of yourself if you're feeling so depleted where your body is telling you you need to rest. Then that's what you need to do. You really need to listen to your body, because that's one thing I learned the hard way. Sometimes you just can't push through. And I get it. For people who just got to do things, need to do things, I get that. But you're really putting your life in danger, and you really can make things worse by just not sitting back and just giving your body time to just kind of to rest, and just relax. You need that, especially with serious conditions like this. Why is it so hard to diagnose UCTD? Honestly, I don't even know. Because I asked that. I said, I've been going to doctors, getting lab work, doing all these things for 2 decades, and why didn't anyone say something to me before this?
I had a hematologist / oncologist. I went to this doctor's office for my iron deficiency and B12 shots. So I was getting iron infusions and B12 shots from this particular office. I was like, hey doctor, something is absolutely wrong. This is not just anemia, okay? And I have a cold intolerance that's pretty awful. And he was like, oh, well, your lab say this and your lab say that. The exact same thing I said earlier. And he kept really kind of not really taking heed to what I was saying. So I kind of was like, all right. I gave him way too many years of my life. I gave him too much time, and he really squandered it by really not doing any deep dive, no research, no, really, I felt like it was really no effort put into it at the time. And I'm like, I'm suffering, I'm struggling. Okay, you're the blood doctor. What do we need to do? What can we do? Is there someone else I can go to? Like, what can I do? If you can't do it, where can I go? Kind of ended like that, and then I ended up leaving and going somewhere else. But what's crazy is that a hematologist, my PCP, and none of them found out that I had UCTD. It ended up being found, I want to say, by my pulmonologist. He ran some blood work and he had some rheumatology knowledge, and then he seen the markers for this particular blood work that I had done, and then that's when I found out. So I have no answers as to why back in the day maybe they didn't have the proper tests, and now they do. But yes, why it's hard to diagnose. So if you go in there and you're talking about inflammation, chronic pain, you're feeling really cold, whatever it is that's going on with you, if it's UCT symptoms, those symptoms match a lot of diseases. That could be multiple things. Just the things I have, they all kind of mimic each other. So there's that. As far as with them being confused by it, well, it's more about them not really doing a deep dive and digging. That's all I can say for that. If I had answers, I would know. If I could reclaim my time and my days and hours back from that would be great. But yeah, that was basically the biggest thing I went through. Is if you look okay on the outside, and if your blood work isn't indicative of anything, they just move it along, and that's unfortunate. So getting to the emotional side of this, I want to say what has been so hard is the suffering, the aching, the being in pain. I have on a pain level 5 shirt. It's not normal for people to function at a 5 or 6 or 7 or 8, whatever it is. Or it's not. I've had pneumonia, different things. Didn't even know. I was struggling, but didn't think anything of it. Because my chest is feeling, there's pain in my chest, or I'm really swollen, whatever the case is. And I'm like, oh, okay, just another day. No, that's not normal to be walking around with pneumonia or serious things, and you have no idea what is going on, because your body has gotten so used to you pushing it to its limits, you suffering, you struggling. It's gotten used to it. Now it's your normal, and it's never should have became my normal. It's not normal. This isn't normal. And the fact that I'm still dealing with it and have no answers for that, to maintain just a better comfort level is disappointing. Also having so many doctors, the time that was wasted for me, and some things definitely got worse. Because when I started complaining about this in around 2002, 2003, kept getting worse, kept getting worse, kept getting worse. And, you know, I won't go through that will have to be broken up in totally different videos, but the emotional side of the neglect of it all takes a toll on you. Especially back when, I want to say like fibromyalgia, people really didn't understand that at all, and they kind of looked at you crazy a little bit, especially back in the early 2000s. The neglect of it, the normalcy of dealing with it, the changes you go through physically, the limitations. If you're struggling or you're triggered, you know, you just can't go do things like you might want. Your kids might want to go do this, or your spouse, or whoever, just by yourself, want to go do things. You want to go out and do things with your loved ones, and you can't do it. Depending on where you're going, how many people are around, like what is going on, what is the environment, how much you have to exert yourself. You know, the autoimmune diseases affect your life in a big way. And for me, I want to be able to bring ideas to you to help you deal with this better, and then also receive ideas. I'm still going through this. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to understand a lot of different things. And it's kind of like give and take, because we all need to feel supported. We all need to feel like we have a safe space and a place to be able to talk about this very complex issue. And this is a safe place. I see you. I understand for sure. I definitely understand how you feel, what you're going through, and I hope this will be a place that you can come to and feel comfortable and trust what I'm saying. These are my opinions, and this is my real life, and this is what I go through every single day. I'm gonna share my experiences, but at the end of the day, you have to go to your doctors, and hopefully you're more prepared on what to say, what to ask, how to treat them. If your time especially has been wasted, then you need to move on and figure out another strategy on what to do while they're wasting your time right now. Time is huge and it's precious. That'll be another discussion to be had as well. But yes, I definitely want to be able to bring attention to this disease and the others that I will definitely make videos about, and hopefully be able to shine a light, be a friend, be a part of your support system in some sort of way, to help bring you some guidance, or maybe my story will be relatable and you're like, okay, I didn't think of that. All right, I need to tell my doctor this. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. Take care.